doing kind and good. So I'll keep moving on. I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow.
Oh yes, when you hear that theme song, my Straight Talk family, you know it's time for another edition of Straight Talk. Time for me to say greetings to the world. Wherever you are in the world, we are on the World Wide Web, so we are reaching and touching you all over the globe. But in particular, we say a very pleasant night to St. Kitts and Nevis. And of course, to the entire Caribbean region. And to my Straight Talk family in the Kittitian, Nevision, and Caribbean diaspora all over the globe. I know that some of you are in Africa. There's some of you in Europe. There's some of you in Asia. And there are a whole lot of you all over North America. So I'm at liberty to say good night. I will say good morning, and I'm also at liberty to say good afternoon, because one of such greetings will be applicable to the region in which you now find yourselves. And for the first timers, I want to welcome you. If you are a first timer, we hope and trust it won't be your last time. And for those who continue to share the link, we are eternally grateful, because we do get first timers, and for the first timers we want to inform you that Straight Talk is a public service program that facilitates and promotes free, underline free expression on all issues of national interest, be they legal, be they environmental, be they technological, social, economic, and or political issues. On Straight Talk, you do have a forum to express yourselves freely. And on this program, we try to raise the level of national consciousness. We try to raise the level of national discourse by alerting our people to their rights, to their responsibilities, and certainly to their obligations. My name is Ian Patches Liburd, and I thank Almighty God for blessing me with the opportunity to join you in conversation yet on another occasion. And for the first timers as well, we come your way every Monday and Thursday from 8 to 10 in the PM. And as your host, I always pledge to remain an untiring advocate of truthfulness. Yes, my Straight Talk family, I'm reminded by the words of a favorite hymn of mine, we are called to be God's prophets, speaking for the truth and right, standing firm for godly justice, bringing evil things to light. So let's seek the courage needed, our high calling to fulfill, that we all may know the blessing of the doing of God's will. And my Straight Talk family, I can assure you that nothing, absolutely nothing, is watered down on this program. We don't try to make it more interesting, neither by omission or by exaggeration. Straight Talk is not about sensationalism or creating excitement, especially at the expense of accuracy, because we lean on the facts. So it's my duty to present the unvarnished truth, as I always call it, the plain truth, especially when it comes to governance in our country. And this program joins us together with people across the Federation. Through this program, we are joined with people in the diaspora all around the world. And my Straight Talk family, let's just thank Almighty God for helping us to understand, oh, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together, in unity. Let us therefore hope and pray for the day when we will all sing his praise together. And for the first time as well, I must also inform you that Straight Talk is a participative program. By that I mean we entertain or we include your calls and your emails. And if you're so minded, call in the numbers, take a note, 663-6672. That's a local number. You can access it from overseas as well. Of course, you'll need the area code, which is 869. We do have an overseas number, which is 646-829-6672. Or for those who like the cloak of anonymity, as I call it, we give you access via our email platform. And that email address is Straight Talk Patches, that's one word, at gmail.com. And for those who have the Alexa app as well, you can access the program thanks to Massive Vibes Radio. Just say Alexa play Massive Vibes Radio. So let me first of all welcome my junior brigade as well. Young Dwayne, Tristan, Shamar, Kevin, Young Rue, Jamal, Travis, Travon, and of course that special lady in St. Louis. I was the queen in Texas as well. And we usually begin with our observations in review. That's the format of our program. And the observations in review are an integral part of Straight Talk. Then we move into our thesis. And following my thesis, I will then include your calls, your emails, as mentioned earlier, to allow full participation. Yes, on this program, you all get an opportunity to have your say. And our observations in review, before we highlight rather the current issues and we do some reflection, we may then ask a few questions as to what was accomplished, how has it helped others, what has changed, and of course what new we have learned as a people. And after our observation in review, we will begin our thesis for tonight, which I have titled TOK, the potter called the kettle black. So don't change that link, just spread the word that Straight Talk is, now live on your platforms. And our first observation has to do with nepotism, which unfortunately, my Straight Talk family, is still rampant in this country. And it reared its ugly head a few weeks ago. It reared its ugly head a few weeks ago and is causing consternation of all places down there in St. Paul's. Because there was an announcement that the Republic of China on Taiwan provided some 16 scholarships for students from St. Kitts. But would you believe that 3 of such scholarships came from literally the same homes? 2 from one home, that's from the Joel Clark Morris family. Yes, Sonia and Ronette Morris. And Miss Hutchinson, all first cousins of Senator Joel, her aunt's children. And the poor people, children who applied long before Senator Clark's family were overlooked, I'm told. And for those in St. Paul's who are upset, I've got your messages. But forgive me for raising this anomaly so late. I should have raised it much earlier. But nonetheless, I brought it to the fore that nepotism still goes on, even when you hear the talk about good governance and transparency and those fancy words. Two of Joel's first cousins or aunt's children in one home, and another in another home benefited from these scholarships. And that is wrong. Our second observation, my Straight Talk family, we are following the story about a large quantity of cocaine that is missing, we are told, from police custody. But the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force and the Ministry of National Security are very silent on this reliable rumor that has come to our attention. And we call on Commissioner of Police James Sutton to shed some light on this story. Tell us whether it is true or it is false that cocaine is missing from police custody. But we intend to keep this alive until we hear something official from the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force and or the Ministry of National Security. Our third observation comes from the Prime Minister's office. And we are following the story surrounding the disappearance of the press secretary, Mrs. Adelcia Conifalance. We did our investigations and were reliably informed that Adelcia was sent on leave with pay for several months now. We also have confirmed that Adelcia Connor has since requested a transfer to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and this has not been approved by the Human Resource Minister, who is her boss, the Prime Minister. But there are issues within the Ministry of Information and with specific reference to the press secretary. And the problems seem to stem from the fact that Naima Hazel, the permanent secretary, hugs, to use a colloquial term, all these trips and acts like the personal assistant or the personal secretary of the Prime Minister and not the permanent secretary. And Straight Talk as well is following that story as we speak. They are both traveling. The Prime Minister and Naima Hazel are traveling together in New York. And my fourth observation, my Straight Talk family, I want to promise my Straight Talk family in Nevis that I will present an episode dedicated to Nevis in the next week or two, but I will keep you posted. Meanwhile, I've followed some information that has just come to hand that the Culturama complex was done, or the renovation was done at the complex at a cost of $5 million. But for some strange reason, $10 million was drawn down from the treasury. The festival, we are told, was a success for the concerned citizens movement and really not for Nevis. But we will tell you more about that developing story, my Straight Talk family. But as I said, we'll have an episode dedicated to Nevis in short order. And those are my observations in review for tonight, my Straight Talk family. And I move right into my thesis. As I said, which I have titled TOK. Hear me again. TOK, the potter call the kettle black, my Straight Talk family. TOK, the pot call the kettle black. They call me Lucifer. I ain't afraid nobody you know. I ain't afraid nobody. They are nasty people. And my Straight Talk family, these were the words of our disgraced Attorney General and Minister of Justice and Legal Affairs. The very day before we celebrated our 41st anniversary of our independence from the United Kingdom. Yes, these were his words, believe it or not, my Straight Talk family. And we always bring you the facts.
They call me Lucifer. But I ain't afraid of nobody, you know. I ain't afraid of nobody. But they want to demonize people for the sake of politics. Nasty people. And this house, which is a house where people are elected to serve, and those people choose other people to serve with them, is the place to tell our people when certain things are not acceptable in a society.
And those were his words. But my Straight Talk family, every time I take the risk, and I call it the risk, to listen to any sitting of the National Assembly in St. Kitts, Nevis, I ask myself the question, why is the Speaker, Lanine Blanchett, allowing Dr. July and the members on the government benches to hold their public meetings in the Parliament? The other paper stipulates statement by ministers. But Speaker Blanchett must know that it should not be used for the purpose of discussing or criticizing the performance of a past administration or any political party and or raising controversial matters. And the standing orders, my Straight Talk family, are clear. They're very clear. The standing orders stipulate what the agenda would be at every sitting. As I said, the standing orders are very, very clear, my Straight Talk family, and they stipulate the order as can be gleaned from your screens. And my Straight Talk family, if you read from the top, you will also glean, it says, shall be. The order shall be. There's no option. It's a must. It says shall be, again, as we speak, my Straight Talk family. And if you look at 13M, you will find that it speaks to statements by ministers, my Straight Talk family. Statements by ministers. And that, again, is absolutely clear for everyone to see. So there's nothing whereby it says the order paper is fabricated. It's not. It's not at all fabricated, my Straight Talk family. It is stipulated by legislation. And you can glean from the other people, like I said, that it says it shall be as follows. Yet each time, my Straight Talk family, each time this august body meets, the member from number 8 and Prime Minister Like a stock record, he's allowed by the Speaker to malign the character of members on the opposition benches and private citizens in this country who can't even respond to him in Parliament. But worse yet, my Straight Talk family, when you examine the controversial issues that are raised, like money missing from the development bank, it is clear a case of TikTok the potter called the kettle black. Because Prime Minister July, under the item that he raised, he must also account for the $8 million that was raped from the government treasury to supposedly construct the Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw Museum. But the works, which were never approved by the Development Control and Planning Board, my Straight Talk family, have come to an abrupt halt. Where is the $8 million, Dr. July? The Prime Minister has not accounted for the 1,000 water buckets that cost the country $5.8 million, which works out to $5,800 per bucket. The Prime Minister has not accounted for the certificates of registration he signed in the last 2 years. All he said he will set up. So this is what statements by ministers on the order paper are expected to address. But my Straight Talk family, it is the disgraced Attorney General of Shenkis Nevis whom everyone is talking about at this time. Worse yet, he spoke at the adjournment, and this time it was the Deputy Speaker in the chair, who obviously is not familiar with the standing orders, or she just does not care. I quickly realized that the Attorney General said is what the Attorney General said, beg your pardon, is what he is. When I heard the Attorney General Garth Lucifer Wilkin call people nasty in the People's House. And I said, tick-tock, remark the pot to the kettle. You nasty Caucasian little boy who did not pay your Social Security, did not pay his Social Security for his nanny on time. So why wasn't he prosecuted like so many others who broke the law? Some poor people spent months in jail and their names are published in the newspaper and on the Social Security Board website. The law is clear. Matthew seems stepping with his nanny. He never paid her Social Security contributions on time. And my Straight Talk family, it's important to note that Section 45, subsection 1 of the Social Security Act provides, and I quote, any insured person or employer who fails to pay at or within the time prescribed for the purpose of any contribution which he or she is liable under this act to pay shall for each such failure be liable on summary conviction to a fine not exceeding $200 or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 6 months or to both, and in addition shall incur a penalty not exceeding $100 and not less than $20 every day during which such failure continues beyond 6 months. So if we follow that piece of legislation, then Lucifer should have gone to jail. And the judge ruled, the judge opined in section 37 of the case Garth Lucifer Wilkin and yours truly. And she said this, and I quote, at section 37, a social security payment after the time prescribed by the legislation constitutes a criminal offense, whether or not the law is strictly enforced. What she wrote, my Straight Talk family. So Garth Lucifer Wilkin broke the law, my Straight Talk family.
Maybe Mr. Wilkins should be disclosing what's happened. Maybe Mr. Wilkins should disclose that he had failed to pay Social Security benefits for 15 months on one occasion, on another occasion for 5 months, and another one for about three or 4 months. And all of that is contrary to the law. And it is not a simple matter of just saying, oh, you just pay the fines. Because what you expose yourself to there is criminal action. And isn't this something that should be told to everybody? That if you do not pay your Social Security benefits, you are liable to be prosecuted. You hold yourself up for that possibility.
And that's clear, my Straight Talk family. That's absolutely clear. So quite definitely, what we have here highlights a double standard. It is frustrating when someone who has acted improperly, someone who has broken the law, now turns around to point fingers at others. It must be frustrating, my Straight Talk family. And there is no need for an apology from Garth Lucifer Wilkin. Garth Lucifer Wilkin must resign. His presence in the government undermines its credibility and can only further erode any trust in its authority. I then flipped my Bible open, and there was Matthew 7, verse 20, my Straight Talk family, which reads, and I quote, "What comes out of a man is what makes him unclean." And I'm inclined to ask the question one more time of July and Lucifer. You must know who Lucifer is. You must know who Lucifer is. He confessed, my Straight Talk.
They call me Lucifer. But I ain't afraid nobody, you know. I ain't afraid nobody. But they want to demonize people for the sake of politics. Nasty people. And this house, which is a house where people are elected to serve, and those people choose other people to serve with them, is the place to tell our people when certain things are not acceptable in a society.
Not at all, my Straight Talk family. So I asked the Attorney General Lucifer and July, is it true that the hands of a member of the cabinet are red? I asked the question because when I continued reading the book of Mark, from verses 21 to 23, it states, "For from within, out of men's hearts, come evil thoughts, sexual immorality, theft, murder, adultery, greed, malice, deceit, lewdness, envy, slander, arrogance, and folly. All these evils come from inside and make a man unclean." Yes, all these evil thoughts come from within Lucifer, who is trying to scare the Kittitian and the Vision diaspora overseas. So if you come from the US, Canada, the United Kingdom, other parts of Europe, from St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands and St. Croix and Puerto Rico, from St. Martin, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago. You came from all over the world and voted for the government that gave you, according to Appleton Edinburgh, in his article, "The Cycle of Pedigree Politics and Endemic systemic malaise must be broken. It gave you a government that with ease gets this pedigree politics monster and the influence and presence of the oligarchs have so early in the party leadership and prime ministership of Comrade Dr. Terence Drew snake themselves in his grossly snake themselves in, beg your pardon, and he says it's grossly disappointing and of concern to me. That was Edinburgh. But my Straight Talk family, all this unelected and unelectable Lucifer has done since his appointment to this high office is to threaten ordinary citizens. He raised it by 33% while supporting my Straight Talk family. The dismantling of the poverty alleviation program that gave poor people $500 per month, but he gave himself this salary.
Now, therefore, be it resolved by the National Assembly of St. Christopher and Nevis that the National Assembly accepts the recommendations of the Salaries Review Commission with respect to the salaries and other conditions of service for senior parliamentary officials with effect from March 1st, 2024.
And my Straight Talk family, you came. You voted. But he's now threatening to extradite you as citizens for expressing themselves or yourselves freely, my Straight Talk family.
I know they have Kittians and Nevisians living in the States who believe because the States allow you to say anything they want, they could say anything they want. Stay up there. Come out of our internet. Right? If you do that, we can send an MLAT to the US. We could find you. We could prosecute you, and we could get you extradited to St. Kitts to face charges.
Imagine, my people, I have come to tell you tonight, do not be afraid to stand up and fight for your freedom. Lucifer continues to repeat that he's not afraid of anybody. He says he is Lucifer. He's not afraid, he said.
They call me Lucifer. But I ain't afraid of nobody, you know. I ain't afraid of nobody. But they want to demonize people for the sake of politics. Nasty people. And this house, which is a house where people are elected to serve, and those people choose other people to serve with them, is the place to tell our people when certain things are not acceptable in a society.
But my Straight Talk family, Lucifer says he's not afraid of nobody. But who the hell is afraid of Lucifer? Ask yourselves the question, my Straight Talk family. Who the hell is afraid of Lucifer? You have a right to criticize these public figures who show no respect for you, and for that reason, you should show no respect to them. A poor nanny he brought from St. Vincent and the Grenadines made deductions from her wages and never matched the contribution and pay it into the Social Security Fund as stipulated by the law. This privileged Caucasian little boy, Massa grandson, is now trying to pioneer digital authoritarianism in St. Kitts and Nevis. This little boy, Massa grandson, now wants to introduce what I call internet or Wi-Fi sniffing. He wants to pioneer a new brand of digital authoritarianism in St. Kitts, like I said, which poses a threat to our freedoms. And my Straight Talk family, he's doing this on the heels of passing the Judge Alone Trials Bill 2024, which allows certain criminal cases in the High Court to be tried by a judge alone, without a jury. My Straight Talk family. And prominent trial lawyer Chelsea Hamilton said this after the first reading of this legislation in Parliament. Chelsea Hamilton said this.
We're moving now and we're taking that universal right from being tried by a jury of your peers to we go back to the days when the crown decide that is the judge and that is the person who could try you and hang you. I don't believe that in a democracy with a Labour government who fought for all of those rights to reach where we are should go into Parliament on Emancipation Day, the 1st August, to table a bill to reverse all those rights. That is my take on it. In a historical context, I am basically saying that should be an option of the accused. If the accused say, boy, listen to me, I got...
Trial only, my Straight Talk family. Why can't the accused request a judge alone trial instead of the DPP? I agree with Chesley, especially when we have a white judge from England, where people like us are still called niggers. Especially a white judge from England who is here right now, who seems to like the pomp and ceremony. Moreover, this white judge from England is close to Lucifer, who can whisper in his ears, my Straight Dog family. Justice is under siege in our beloved country. Yes, Lucifer has access to the judge. Guess he has to get his house, make sure he has accommodation and what goes with that. But our justice is under siege with Labour. But it is the double standards, my Straight Dog family. It is the double standards of Lucifer that bother most people. It is okay for July to stand in this same August chamber and scandalize the good name of citizens while under a cloak of immunity. It is okay for Lucifer himself to use his phone and spread propaganda via Gada. Spread all this propaganda via Gada, who is the advisor to this French convict, Philippe Martinez. Information that resided in a government department was leaked by Lucifer to a former minister and an advisor to the French convict Philippe Martinez, who has filed a RICO lawsuit in the USA, in Florida to be exact, which involves a member with whom Lucifer currently serves in cabinet and also a member of parliament. Lucifer, your messages form part of the evidence. Therefore, the leaking of this information surely violates your legal and ethical obligations as the Attorney General. If the leak was part of a scheme to influence or manipulate political outcomes, then you ought to be charged by the Director of Public Prosecutions with conspiracy. But my Straight Dog family, the real crux of seems to have caused the outrageous behavior of Lucifer in the National Assembly on Wednesday has not been addressed by him properly and or otherwise. Because, my Straight Dog family, it all stemmed from a young man who criticized a member of the July cabinet and not long after was shot to death. And these are some of the words Mark, who has now gone to the great beyond, he uttered. These are some of the words he uttered.
Hey, okay, watch you. Oh, she pull up and maybe she's son in there and she telling me some folks. You got your son there with you, come try to style me, come pull up on me. Okay, she tell me come to a meeting. Go to a meeting with me. You check? Tell the woman I want back my job and once that the woman can't put me back on the piece up to now. The woman can't do nothing for me. Them then enough. Man supposed to could talk to the people who we put in a power. Them they gonna call up in the embassy and call up in the airport, them and not stop them from making the money, the woman.
And my Straight Talk family, these are some of the words of Imark. He has gone to the great beyond. May his soul rest in peace. He uttered many other things, but it's difficult to get certain words out, my Straight Talk family. But many are still asking the question, is there anyone in the July cabinet with red hands? Yes. Is there anyone in the July cabinet in which Lucifer serves with red hands? Garth Lucifer Wilkin stood in the parliament in a hell of a rage, and according to him it was personal, and he supports his sister, the member from number 2. He said it was personal, and he supports the sister from number 2.
Personal, because it's part of my family that was attacked. And the police have already gotten the advice and the ammunition from the DPP's office, the Attorney General's office, and we will come and get your phones. So stop it now. This is the last warning. I support my sister, the member for number 2. May it please you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Attorney General.
Imagine that. Controversial matters being raised in the parliament on the adjournment. But my Straight Talk family, if according to Lucifer, the member from number 2 is accused of doing something wrong, then it is only proper, my Straight Talk family, for the member to use the parliament to inform the nation and or clear her name. And the order paper which I just posted, I'll post it one more time. The order paper provides that opportunity. Under section item 13, subsection N, it says personal explanations. So why couldn't the member from number 2 stand up in the parliament and explain to the country what Lucifer is talking about? But no, my Straight Talk family. Lucifer overestimated his ability and our importance without the qualifications to demonstrate that he's a good lawyer. As an unelected and unelectable member of the parliament, and as unelected and unelectable as he is, Garth Lucifer Wilkin must know he cannot speak for a member. He cannot speak for a member. Even if he was in court or in a court of law, the accused must speak for him or herself and not choose to remain silent. Not so in Parliament. Parliament don't call witnesses. The court does. So this dismissive or condescending behavior towards the people in this country has created a disconnect between self-perception and reality. Lucifer, you are not there to protect your friend or your sister. Your role as Attorney General and Minister of Justice and Legal Affairs is to protect the public interests, not your sister, as you said in Parliament. Your role is to protect the public interests. My Straight Talk family, this man lacks humility or self-awareness and believes he deserves respect or recognition because he was appointed Attorney General. But respect and recognition must be earned through hard work or merit. And there is no need to threaten anyone about the police or the judge, Lucifer. There's no need for that.
The police are going to come for you. Not me. The police are going to come for you. They're going to use the force of the law. And you're going to meet the judge.
My Straight Talk family, so why? Why is the member from number 2, who Lucifer said he is representing or represented in Parliament, why is the member from number 2 so quiet and Lucifer is so angry? Why? We ask the question, my Straight Talk family.
I'm defending my friend and colleague. It upset me. A woman with a child. And people following foolishness. And people know it's stupidness. But they're forwarding it still. They're broadcasting it. They're using it and making other videos on it. Knowing that it's not true. And all of it, we should just put up with it because people say we have freedom of speech. No. I ain't going to tell you about the Constitution. I'm the Attorney General of this country.
My Straight Talk family, what? He has been specific. But Lucifer's appointment as Attorney General does not inherently confer upon him sole authority over constitutional interpretation. It does not, my Straight Talk family. While the Attorney General holds a significant position in advising the government on legal matters and representing it in judicial proceedings, constitutional interpretation is a collaborative endeavor. Various entities, including the judiciary, legislative bodies, and academic scholars, contribute to the evolving understanding of constitutional law. Furthermore, the Constitution itself is a living document subject to differing interpretations, emphasizing the importance of checks and balances within the legal framework. We cannot wait on this Attorney General to interpret the Constitution for us. And we must ensure, my Straight Talk family, we must ensure there is a robust and democratic discourse surrounding the legal interpretations and their implications as advanced by this zealous Attorney General. In the meanwhile, I must admit, I am proud of the pushback. Yes, I am proud of the pushback that everyone is given to master grandson Lucifer. Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw must be proud of us as well, as he warned our forefathers, our foreparents, against placing power into the hands of these kinds of people. So I am proud of you, my people. Whether you are a farmer, whether you are a sanitation worker, whether you work in a hotel, or wherever you are employed, food prices are going up as we speak. Water and electricity are both rationed. They are scarce commodities. But let us defend our democracy and die with our dignity. And when Garth Lucifer Wilkin comes up with his veiled threats, he comes up with his veiled threats like this, my Straight Talk family.
In this country that make it a criminal offense to either make or forward statements, letters, any sort of art, communications by electronic device that either harasses, threatens, intimidates, molests other people. It is called unlawful communications.
And my Straight Talk family, when he comes up with his veiled threats, like I said, let us stand together and let Lucifer know that he's nothing but this.
But AG is a punk. That's the main reason you see me do this video, yeah. Just to let you know directly, he is a punk. You hear? He is a punk with a capital P. AG. You hear?
And that's what we must tell to AG. He's a punk with a capital P. Then go to TikTok, the protocol, the Kettle Black. That's my story tonight, my Straight Talk family, and I am not going to change it. I will open the lines and entertain your calls and your emails. But when I do so, I anticipate that you will respect others. And of course, to achieve that, you must first respect yourselves. Let us try to be fair to all concerned. And this is my Straight Talk family. In the process of doing and saying those things, let us strive to build better friendships. And in the process of doing and saying those things, let us as well, my Straight Talk family, strive to build a kinder, gentler St. Kitts and Nevis. With that said, I go to the lines. I'll call you live. Hello, caller. Hi there, caller.
Good night.
Good night, my dear brother. Good night. The Bible man, you're in, number one.
I know that.
How you know that?
I know that. So you're not asking how me know it. I know that.
What's on your mind? What's on your mind then? Tell me.
Well, what's on your mind here? Hold on. Yeah. In Daniel chapter 4 and 5, there got two people, one named Belshazzar, one named Nebuchadnezzar. And they have God give them a kingdom each. And they believe to themselves they were so powerful, so nobody could have done them nothing. I said, we men are the image of God. And so when a man stand up and say nobody could do them nothing, that means God, you hear? Because God, man is the image of God. And so, Paddy, what happened to them? The shadow go on so bad. One of them went to sleep. When you don't do it, mock the wickedness, you don't. I had no idea what on the wall. And you get up and you start to go on. It started to finger start trembling. Then they call the call, to make a long story short, Daniel come in and Daniel tell him, you are way in the balancing and found wanting. I guess I can tell you something tonight. Do not worry people who want terrible. When the word of God says, when the wicked are plotted against the judgment, make it Psalms, I believe it's Psalm 37. When the wicked plotted against the just and grind at his teeth on him, the Lord shall laugh at him because he says his days are coming soon. Okay. Let us read the Bible. You talk more Bible.
Okay, my brother.
So when you see people, wicked people start to go on bad, listen here.
Oh.
God is on their trail.
Okay.
And they don't know what time they're going to move out.
Okay, my brother. Thank
So
you.
listen me tell you about that. One of them went in the field, go eat grass, and so God just deal with them. So not take them on bodies.
Okay.
So you take care of yourself, Mr. Patrick, and have a pleasant day.
Have a blessed night as well, my dear brother. Always welcome your spiritual intervention as we go right back to the lines and say, caller, you live. Hello, caller.
Good night, Mr. Liburd.
Good night, my dear.
The quote for this evening. Surprises are so common here that nothing is surprising. I repeat, surprises are so common here that nothing is surprising. Have a great evening.
Have a great evening as well, my dear. You go straight back to the line. Let's see. Caller. Are you there, caller?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Thank
Indeed.
you, Colin.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen, comrades, listeners throughout the world. Whether you are in East, North, West, or South. Patches, I have listened to the Attorney General comment that was made in the Parliament. It is absurd. It is upsetting. It is self-aggrandization. And it is power. Power get to my head. First of all, this comment offend me as a Kitishan and the people of St. Kitts and Nevis and to probably other nations throughout this world of this kind of comment. First of all, I'm going to say to the Attorney General, I am not afraid of you neither. Okay? And if you think you have the power to say and do all these things that you said, it's not going to end there. Everything anyone has been said was alleged. And freedom of speech will never take over by authoritarians. None. And you attack us in the diaspora, you attack me. And I will be the one to step forward, should there be any else, to take you and 10 of you on in any shape or form. So I'm pitching back at you because you are out of order. You are powerless with no power. Who gave you that audacity? You are not an elected official. You are appointed. And you are overstepping your bounds in front of the Prime Minister. Did he give you that audacity? Let him step forward and let us find if you are the real Prime Minister of the country. You are not. So step back, sir. Step back, hold your tongue, and think before you talk because you're creating enemies, haters. Okay? You are a hater to the people of St. Kitts. And you must stop that damn shit. Parties are going to yield here, but I will come again. If you don't like it, and stop it, you shall be stopped. Because you are destroying the fabric of the Labour Party with those self-aggrandization. Okay? You offend me, sir. Okay? Parties, I'll yield right now.
Thank you.
And I'll come back again. Because I have more.
Thank you very much. Yes, he's unelected and may they say unelectable as well by Straight Talk family. And I will make the point again. The Attorney General got up in the National Assembly and apparently, he said he was defending his sister. But on what he couldn't speak on the adjournment, but he couldn't speak for his sister. The other paper, like I said before, speaks to personal statements. And if someone has accused the minister, as he's now saying, that's what has come to the fore, then the minister has the option to rise in Parliament and speak under Section 13N, which is on the order paper, which says personal explanations. She has an obligation to explain to the country, not for the Attorney General to come and like that good gentleman said, behaving like a punk. No, that's not order. Not at all. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, you live. Hello, caller.
Yeah, Mr. Liburd, how you doing, man? Good evening, man. How you doing tonight?
I am peaceful, my brother. Yourself?
Yeah, pretty good. You know, let me try to rewind a little bit. You know, this is an emotional period for a lot of us. You know, we want to get on here, we want to scream, and we want to holler. Like the old saying says, 2 wrongs don't make a right. I'm going to go straight to the AG. The judicial system in St. Kitts and Nevis, he's responsible for some other part of that judicial system. So as I rewind, we'll look at what's happening judicially in the Federation. Persons are already screaming they can't get equal rights and justice. In my opinion, the justice system, is totally flawed and corrupted. I don't know who's going to clean up the mess in St. Kitts and Nevis, but the place needs cleaning up. There's corruption everywhere. You know, I'll follow you some of your observations tonight. Some of it with that scholarship. You know, persons who are well off already, their children get scholarships. What happened to me and your kids? What happened to the unfortunate kids down? What happened to the kids that got single mothers, single parents? You know what I mean? You know, we cannot just sit here and let this AG talk to us this way, this unprofessional manner. The issue about this man's speech is not the part of it where he's trying to even defend Marshall Henderson. The rhetoric that this man threw down on us last week there, that's unacceptable. You know, we need a big public, real big public apology. I don't care about the people in St. Kitts and Nevis that's defending and defecting. You know, it's people who underground, their pockets are being laced, their palms are being greased. They don't want to speak up against wrong and right. When something is wrong, it's definitely wrong, man. The way how this man talked in the parliament, you know, it's like it's technically a threat in itself. This man has now brought us over here, who's in the diaspora, into the mix, and that's the part that got me kind of pissed off, really, if I can use that word. You know, you hear me be talking about that Brian clause a lot, and this is one of the reasons why I want that Brian clause removed, because me and other people who's out here who wants to come home and contribute politically, we can't. And then when we're hearing this type of rhetoric directed at us, man, that is some crazy stuff, man. That's some crazy stuff. You cannot be blocking me out from coming to run for politics in my own birth country. Like, well, this is not really about me. All the persons in the diaspora, they need to listen to this rhetoric that came out of the parliament of the St. Kitts and Nevis last week. Everybody in the diaspora need to get a hold of this tape and listen to this man rhetoric. They're taking St. Kitts and Nevis back judicially. I saw them white men that you got on that clip. I seen them hanging out at that independence celebration. I was wondering who they are. You know, it seems like those are the same individuals you pointed out tonight and said there are some judges on the ground now.
You know, Chesney Hamilton was the only person that had some type of attempt to discuss about that law that dropped down in Parliament last week and passed on us. The average person in St. Kitts and Nevis have no idea what's going on. I don't really know if they care about what's going on the ground, but I care. I got a political interest in St. Kitts and Nevis. What I'm rooting for, I might not become a direct recipient of what I'm rooting for, but all the persons who was born in St. Kitts and Nevis must have the right to run for politics and contribute to their own society. I don't care if they got 1 million passports or they pledge allegiance to a foreign country. I don't care about that. The bottom line is that's a person's natural birthright that's being violated.
Okay,
but as I say, Patches, man, we got to keep an eye on the judicial system in St. Kitts and Nevis, because once they put these laws into place, it's gonna be very difficult to move them.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Look. Before you go, Patches, before you get me off real quick, when we look directly at the AG, this man break the law with that social security stuff. The whole bottom line about that is that other persons went to jail for the same offense.
True.
You know, it's like Trump. It's like Trump in America. He's getting away with a lot of stuff, man. The law cannot just be for you and don't be for me. That law got to be equal across the board. And he is the top judicial man in that cabinet. He needs to concentrate on doing his job and clean up that corruption under him in his own department. That cocaine that you say is missing from that department, the police department, they need to go investigate those type of things.
Okay.
All of those murders happening in St. Kitts and Nevis, and there's no crime solving. The criminals, them going to get more and more emboldened, and they're going to keep killing the people.
Okay.
I already done told you before several times, Patches.
True.
The crime is going to keep rising, and you see what's been happening, man. But I wish you guys the best, man, and you know, good luck going forward.
Thank you for your passionate intervention. I go back to the lines. Caller, you live. Hello, caller.
Okay. Good night, Patches.
How are you, my brother? How are you, my brother?
I'm great, man. I'm great. And everybody who listening to this wonderful, informative program. Brother Straight Talk, I'm looking for you tonight. But anyway, Patches, too many issues to talk about in this country here. For anybody to waste time and don't talk about the issues. And I don't care who come back and abuse me. First of all, let me educate that faggot, that punk, call himself Lucifer here, afraid nobody. He think he talking to animals when he said that you in America, stay up there. Don't come down here because we all hear what he say he will do. He will call the immigration or whoever authorities and tell them, send them here. Well, let me tell you this. The First Amendment in America's Constitution is FOS, freedom of speech. Gart Wilkin. And anybody who try to muzzle freedom of speech in any country, America have them as dictators. Okay? So you get it in your head. America not going to study you with your stupidness. Won't send them out here because of what they say on the media. America don't realize, well, hey, no, you're trying to stifle people freedom of speech. But I know we need that with you. You are a communist, a dictator. So let me tell you that. No. He come in talking about other people, and he know he's a criminal. He committed a crime with the nanny, and he should have been in jail because he ain't only in there because of who he is and he complexion. And those two guys who went in prison for what they did, well, wrong is wrong, and I'm not correcting a wrong with a wrong. He should have been in there with them, and that is to show the whole people and the whole world what St. Kitts has become to a dictator's country. Now he got in parliament, got talk about he defending his sister. His sister? What happened to his sister mouth? She can speak for herself. if the shoes is burning her foot, she's the one who's supposed to ball out and say the shoes burning her foot, not he. But because he ignorant, and then he leader, he boss, all of them is the same thing. Gert Wilkin supposed to apologize with the national flag behind him, like in America when the president gonna speak the American flag behind him. He's supposed to do that on a video. Nobody accepting no apology from him for what he said, because the crime has committed in your heart before it actually been done. It's just like adultery. Adultery being committed in the heart of people before they do the act. So when he come out and said that he apologized, that is not accepted, because he was in his heart. And he giving people the impression that he's some kind of bad man and fighter. But I ain't afraid nobody. Well, who afraid he? Okay. Why nobody afraid nobody? People supposed to respect people and afraid the penalties what God gonna put down on people who do wrong. But you don't have two more things to say when I come back. I'm talking about Mary Charles Hospital and the school children who failed the exam with the CXC. A lot of them failed because they did not pay the money for the exam for the children. I'll come back later, Patrice.
Thank you very much. Just for a clarification, nonetheless, my Straight Talk family is what the Attorney General did constituted a criminal offense. What he did in terms of his non-payment of his Social Security in accordance with the law constituted a criminal offense, but the law was not enforced. Just for a clarification, I may add my Straight Talk family. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, you live. Caller.
Patrice, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
The gentleman from Antigua, I can't recall his name, but I think he's the DPP. Am I correct?
He's what?
The gentleman from Antigua.
Yes.
Something, Adlan Smith, I think that's his name.
Adley something. Yeah. From Antigua.
Is he still working in St. Kitts?
As far as I know, he is.
Okay. Allow me to say two things, Patrice. The Prime Minister need to stop to him. Because if God broke the law with the Social Security and Adlan Smith not take no action, and God come again according to Philip Martinez and leak information from within government to somebody from Port Zante, because I got the WhatsApp them on my phone also, Patches, as a screenshot them as the television. Adlan Smith is not doing no work. You know why? When he came here, he was boasting just like God. Me no come look no friend. I come do work. And God said that he gonna bring a lot of people to shame. And so far, he has brought himself to shame on numerous occasions. And the Prime Minister should ask him to step down because he's breaking up the fabric of labor. I'm not a labor supporter, but they are critician. I'm a critician. The Prime Minister needs to get rid of God Wilkin and Adlan Smith because he look like he's a cow. Where God do, Adlan Smith that nothing. So in my opinion, he's taking my taxpayers' money for no reason. But when the small black boy from Newtown, maybe Gingerland or Tabernacle do something in our plan, he over 1840. And I'm going to say this, Patches. I believe God is helping to create criminal activity. And this is my belief. Let me say why. When he going to say openly that he going to send the police and the police will just take away your phone. Patches, he got some persons out there. They're more in makeup that if police come with their phone, he not going so. And other things may happen. Other things just may happen. So God got to be careful. I don't know what she use but he need to change it. His mouth is too dirty and out of order. And what I said at Patches, he arguing about phone story. And I'm going to give me name in the Patches. I'm going to give me name. My name is Aspen Coker. And the same Gart Wilkin and the lady who was the CEO for tourism before that name again there. I forgot your name.
It's Brown.
What is the first name? Let me make sure.
It's Brown. Something Brown. I don't remember the name.
Yes, Brown. The same Gart Wilkin and Miss Brown use a piece of a video when let me don't say a white man. When a man kicked me on the port Patches, and because I defend myself, they use a piece of video, you know. So you see how crooked Gart is, and they suspend me at the port for 13 years. My children can't eat. But now, he gonna talk about, because something's on social media, he gonna send police out take a phone. So he good today, and he bad tomorrow. By God, you need to get out the parliament. You need to turn you and the man from Antigua. All you take government money for no reason. God, you need to get out the parliament. You need to get out. You too pampers. God, Wilkin, you are too pampers. And that is why the Kitchen public is so much on your throat. Because of the pampers behavior. God, go and let the Labour Party strive if there is to strive. You are break down Labour. That is why the Labour supporters is arguing so much, but they don't want to say it openly. PM Joe, I am giving you a little advice. Get rid of God. He break down your party. Get rid of him, Dr. Joe. Please, let him go. He and Adlam Smith, because how come Smith not take no action, who nothing at all? I mean, come on, poor people, children, they want to shove them in jail. And as the rightfully say, people going to social security money. And here we are scotch-free. Can't be right. He needs to go. Have a good night, Patches.
Have a good night, my dear brother. Yes, justice, it is said, must be blind. And justice was not blind in the case of Garth Lucifer Wilkin. Because as the judge said, in opinion, social security payment after the time prescribed by the legislation constitutes a criminal offense whether or not the law is strictly enforced. So in his case, as I said, the law was not enforced, but he committed a criminal offense. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, you live.
Mr. Patches,
greetings. Greetings, my brother. Good night.
Another spicy topic.
Thank you, my brother.
But this one tonight have a little honey in the menu. And that is very good.
Okay, so.
Leaders are people who raise a standard by which they judge themselves and by which they are willing to be judged. And it's good you have the Attorney General in the spotlight again tonight. And it's also good you show up the video clip of Peter Foster.
I'm sorry, we seem to have lost that caller. I don't know what went wrong, the caller. His voice sounds like a familiar one that always make some sound contributions. I trust that you will get back in as soon as possible. And you dropped out, as you made mention, about Peter Foster. And I believe this is what you're referring to when you said Peter
Maybe
Foster.
Mr. Wilkins should be disclosing what's happened. Maybe Mr. Wilkins should disclose that he had failed to pay Social Security benefits for 15 months on one occasion, on another occasion for 5 months, and another one for about three or 4 months. And all of that is contrary to the law. And it is not a simple matter of just saying, oh, you just pay the fines. Because what you expose yourself to there is criminal action. And isn't this something that should be told to everybody? That if you do not pay your Social Security benefits, you are liable to be prosecuted. You hold yourself up for that possibility.
Let's go back to the lines. Caller, you're live.
Mr. Patches.
Oh, I'm happy you got back. Thank you, man.
Yeah, yes, man. Yeah, I was saying, the clip with Peter Foster, you know, what alarms me, Mr. Patches, when the Attorney General put forward an injunction towards a citizen of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, even though the facts was true. You know, and even before the case was tried, you hear some talk show hosts or whatever saying, the package take that. When the case tried now, you know, as citizens, they put a genuine thought and say, boy, yeah, the Attorney General did something out of place. Not even the Bar Association until today have heard comment on that decision of the court. So it's good, Mr. Foster show his independent thoughts on an issue of such an important issue, Mr. Patches. And you said something tonight. With the Attorney General getting up in Parliament and trying to say he's defending a member of Parliament. I agree with you. The member of Parliament should play his name, her name.
True.
It's the right thing to do. Because look at the Attorney General. He bring forward an injunction to close the truth of something that was real. So how you know what's going on now is not true? The citizens, you can't leave the citizens down a blind alley. Because we have to remember, Mr. Patches, some people just say, oh, we want a young government. But we have a young government governing the country. And that young government take over the country from adult, mature persons over governing the country. And you want to tell me the young people who took over the country ain't get no example from the mature persons who was governing the country before? When you look at the persons who comprises of the government before, they were think it's best academics. Look at the variety, and look at those who stay in the government, not who stay with Timothy, who stay in the government until the house dissolves. Look at them, and all of them try to accuse Timothy of this and Timothy of that, with no evidence until today. And so he's the first Attorney General saying he ain't afraid nobody. I never hear no Attorney General in the past who more qualified than him put them backchat in the face of petitions and divisions. Never. Why he must be like that? And he named don't even be on a ballot paper to say people have no beef with him. So why he must have beef with people? Mr. Patches, you continue being strong and doing what is right in the sight of God. And some people also say, Mr. Patches, before I go off the radio, Brian Claus stopping people from doing what they have to do for their country. Brian Claus ain't stopping nobody from doing anything. Leadership is about sacrifice, Mr. Patches. We can't have a cake and always want to eat it. God created us, but it's a way for us to go in Zion. We got to be pure and clean. Life is an order. So who don't want to believe life is an order, we got it wrong. So what Brian Claus? We have a good constitution. We have a little hits and deal. But look at it today. Remember we had a prime minister who didn't have the governing seat, but still he was the prime minister. Mr. Patches, you continue to be strong and you take care. Stay healthy. God bless.
Thanks for your contribution, and I wish you all the same, my brother, as well. And you made the point, and I'm in total concurrence, I'm in total agreement with you. Because the Attorney General got up in Parliament and said this.
Personal, because it's part of my family that was attacked. And the police have already gotten the advice and the ammunition from the DPP's office, the Attorney General's office, and we will come and get your phones. So stop it now. This is the last warning. I support my sister, the member for number 2. May it please you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Attorney General.
Well, the Deputy Speaker allowed that, but it's not proper decorum in the National Assembly. And according to the Attorney General, as he said, it was personal, and he supports his sister, the member from number 2. That's when I first learned that, or confirmed she had some issue. But according to Lucifer, I want to reiterate, the member from number 2 is accused of doing something wrong. Then it is only proper for the member to use the Parliament herself to inform the nation and or clear her name. And the order paper, as I said before, provides or facilitates that opportunity. If you can look at the order paper, which is now on your screens, at section or item 13. Item 13N speaks to personal explanations. The Attorney General can't explain nothing for the member, an elected member. Hell no. So he overestimated his ability and our importance. And he has not demonstrated that he's a good lawyer, as unelected and unelectable as he is. Garth Lucifer Wilkin cannot speak for a member. He cannot speak for a member in the House. And even if he was in a court of law, the accused must speak for herself or remain silent. Then he may be a witness. He can't speak for her. But Parliament don't call witnesses. So this dismissive, condescending behavior towards the people of this country has created a disconnect between self-perception and reality. And my Straight Talk family, Lucifer, you are not there to protect your friend or your sister. Your role as Attorney General is to protect the public interests. Understand that, my Straight Talk family. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, you live. Hello, caller. Are you there, caller?
Yes, thank you again, Patches. Yes, Patches. I am back again. As I continue, pick it up from where I left off. And I'm going to be jumping on the AG because he definitely overstepped his bounds. The other thing is, why these power get to their head? Who gave him that kind of power? Is he a member of the oligarchy? Is he a member of the communists? Is he a member of the Saudi Arabia authoritarian club? Look, Mr. Wilkin, listen to my advice. Think before you talk. You create a lot of anger amongst the people, especially we out here in the diaspora. Patrick, by any chance, the gathering of the UN, is the Attorney General traveling with the Prime Minister and the other entourage
I
and are here in New York at the US?
I can't confirm, sir. I can't confirm.
Okay.
I can't confirm.
Well, I heard about this the UN gathering late, but I believe I could have called a protest against those kind of people, because America does not condone with those kind of ideology. America is meant to be freedom, even though there are racist behaviors here. America is land of the free and home of the brave. There is no way the United States government, and I'm calling on the United States government not to honor these bullcrap that these sanctus government and parliament is coming up with. Stay off of our backs. Okay? You're not going to get it work. You are just an intimidator trying to intimidate, but it's not going to work. It can't happen. Nada. Zippo. Behave yourself.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay, thank you very much, my dear brother. I forgot my emails. The Dr. Drew government, read this email, is a complete failure, packed with lies and follies. The Prime Minister said on radio the other day that so many projects are on their way, as he deceitfully ticked them off one by one, believing he was fooling his listeners except himself. Not even the outspoken interviewer trusted his words. However, Mr. Liburd, the big song and dance he had over the geothermal project a few months ago was not mentioned as one of the projects that was on its way. Many ministers have told me the bad spender premier has wasted millions of dollars on this project already, and geothermal is clinically dead and will never be resurrected under Mark Brantley, and that is why Dr. July could not say geothermal is on its way. Patches, I was listening to the last Spam Perspective episode, and I was very impressed, as usual, with Mrs. Carlin Morton's presentation. However, Patches, I still remain saddened and disheartened that Mrs. Morton did not contest for the leadership of PAM. I opine that she would have won overwhelmingly. I love her indomitable courage, her strident and vociferous voice. She is fearless and belligerent when it comes to her politics. Shani, you need to emulate Carlin and cease your friendship with the slow student and the Nevis snake if you are serious this time, running in East Bastille. This tacit agreement you both had not to say anything offensive against each other in the last election was ridiculous and detrimental, causing you to lose your seat. Shani, are satisfied with the representation the people of East Bastille are getting from your friend? Well, I am not. And you must condemn it, for there is no friendship in political trading. Read this email. Patches, good evening. It is time to put that legal guru out to pasture. I say bring back Mike. Mr. Liburd, we have police, coast guards, army, and customs officers or frontline people refusing to take polygraphs, and the law says they have the right. Lucifer said he do not afraid anyone or go into the house. Put the law that says from January 1st, refusal is automatic termination with no benefits payable. Let us see how barley grow. He talking about bringing back people to stand trial in St. Kitts for asking hard questions. Like, Garth, are you cheating on your... Patches manners the fool up. He's nothing like Charles. Please, my brother, read this email. And this other email reads, I'll just dispense of some of these emails, callers. Be with me. Mrs. Shani Gray, I realize that the Premier is avoiding Sean and using you. But I want you to know that he has no use for you. and the entire leadership of PAM. When Sean introduced the first reading of the Overseas Voters Bill in the House to address that perennial problem once and for all, he vehemently opposed it and went into the diaspora and on his radio program pronouncing that Sean and Timothy don't want the citizens living overseas to come home and vote, and he's not in favor of disenfranchising them. And he done tell them that he will not vote yes on that bill and will walk out the house in protest if they ever proceed to pass that bill. This was Sean and Pam's bill he was opposed to. The bill received its first reading, and that was the end of it. Take warning, Shani, and beware of that man. With his launch for the school children Aspire, the Prime Minister told them to keep away from crime and violence. But many teachers say that they were very disappointed that he never once told the children to keep away from drugs, especially the smoking of marijuana, when he knows that is a big problem in a number of schools. And they are wondering why he is so silent on the burning issue of children smoking marijuana, especially school children. Reads that email. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller. Yes, sir.
Come here again now. You see, I'm going to tell you something, Pacheco. God a beat his chest. I say how he not afraid nobody. But you know what he say it? He say it because nobody tell him yet. Like some Carlos said, they're not afraid him neither. Because God look like he forget that there's an old saying say, tit for tat, butter for fat. You kill me dog, I kill you cat. So when God has say open in public and in the parliament, he not afraid nobody. Where he know people could tell him straight up to his face in the public because they can't go in the parliament. So they come to him in 4th Street downtown anyway and tell him to his face, they're not afraid him. But from when God come bully, God not a bully, God to try coward people with his mouth. But at least the public recognize the mistake that was made by the Prime Minister and his cabinet to select a handpicked God. And I'm sure Dr. Joe is very upset and vexed over this. I want to believe so. If I know Dr. will do very well, because we work together at JNF. God I do more damage to the Labour Party. May not stop saying they need to kick out God. Kick him out. If they could get rid of Big Life you're not to call the name now. But I'm not saying that about you. If they could get rid of Big Life, get rid of him, because he ain't contributing nothing but problem in the Labour Party. Have a good night.
Have a good night as well. I must compliment lawyer Chesley Hamilton as the only lawyer from the legal fraternity to come out publicly and denounce the government dictatorial move to abolish the Jewish system and return to the colonial slavery system whereby a citizen will no longer be able to be tried by his peers in a court of law, but will have a single judge to rule on the facts and law, simultaneously to determine the guilt of an accused person before him. This is unconstitutional and a retrograde step on this 41 year of independence. The Bar Association should challenge this matter in court if they want to regain some measure of confidence from the people, because 99% of the population absolutely has no confidence in this so-called Bar Association. They are hangers-on and exist in the name on paper, but the reality is they are completely useless. Reads this email. Let's go back to the lines and thank this caller for holding. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller. Oh my! I am sorry for that call. I inadvertently disconnected you, caller. You were holding. In error. I disconnected your call. I have to apologize for that, and trust that you will call back in as soon as possible. I'll take the emails in the meanwhile. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, you're live. Hello,
okay.
Caller.
Yeah, that is.
So.
Yeah, I will show the people that know. Now they can see that this government is run by Satan. Because a couple of weeks ago, 2 persons get gunned down Newton Ground Bay. And we know the youngest one was 9 years old. And up to now, none of them come officially and say anything about that murder down there. But now Mr. Gary Wilkin, Lucifer, wicked, ignorant, gonna come in Parliament and get up and say he defending his sister. When she can't speak for herself. Why he never get up and condemn what happened to those people down there? And the next thing now, over at Mary Charles Hospital in Molyneux is in number 7, St. Christopher 7. There's a lot of complaint about people who go there for service, that where they have to go for medication, prescription be filled, is mold, filled with mold, and people in working in that condition. And the doctor who's supposed to be on call, like every day, some people go there to see the doctor today, they waste all day there, no doctor, the next day the same thing, they have to end up go somewhere else. And then the school in Molyneux is over 3 years that school had a fire. Many children went to school here and they come up to be great people. And up to now, no work has been done on that building. But they could find a load of $1 million to pay the Coney Island to come in here to distract the children them from the school lessons at this time when school open. They could find money to pay them, but they can't find the money to fix the school in Molyneux. And the next thing again with Dr. Joe and this Gart Wilkin business. Too many persons supposed to be working for the government. And when they're supposed to be on the job, they over Portland with a personal vehicle running taxi. And do them turn away people who was far from reaching the retirement age of 62 and bringing people who don't bounce over the hill of 70 and 71, put them back in the job. And those are the kind of people running up and down when they're supposed to be doing government work, doing their own personal taxi in.
Okay.
I'm going to go now.
Yeah, thank you.
Molyneux Hospital need looking after. The people them have nowhere to cool out when rain and everything come. The tent them out, they rip up, and they ain't doing nothing.
Okay.
But anyway, Patches, you have a good night until.
Have a good night as well. Thanks for your normal, interesting interventions. Dear Patches, I'm writing to express my deep concern over Dr. Drew's sidestepping of the critical issue regarding the withholding of CXC results. Dr. Drew claims the country is up to date with its payments. But if that's the case, why are the students still without their results? Is this another case of his administration's playing games with the lives and futures of our children? Instead of addressing the real problem, Dr. Drew is busy talking about painting schools and new railings. The issue at hand is that students who have paid their fees are being unfairly punished because of administrative incompetence. Why hasn't Jeffrey Hanley, the Minister of Education, stepped up and taken responsibility? The silence is deafening, and it is the students who are suffering. One more thing. Why is Big Lies, the self-proclaimed defender of Dr. Drew and resident of the Kian community, so gagged on the issue? Shouldn't he be the first to speak up for the children of his own neighborhood? We need accountability, not distraction. Dr. Drew must stop sidestepping the real issue and give us clear answers. Why is his administration failing to secure these students' futures? Caller, you're live. Thank you for holding.
Good evening, Mr. Liburd.
Good evening, sir. What's this, Carl?
And good evening to the listeners home and abroad. Yes, Carl Brown.
How are you, sir?
I'm alive and well, and don't mind you all have not hearing me calling to your show. I have been trying to set up, trying to set up a business in St. Kitts is like going on hell to fight the devil in hell. So that has been keeping me busy because, you know, you have to be up and down, cross the road, down the border, down to the alley. You know, that's how it goes here in St. Kitts. And everywhere you go, people are telling you they don't know what you're speaking about. They don't have no information to give you and that sort of thing. So you have to, like a vacuum cleaner, pull it out of them. So, folks, I am around, I am here, and I'm just trying to get some business sorted out. But tonight we're going to deal with a number of issues. First, we are going to deal with the CXC results. We have been hearing alleged information on the street that the government has not paid CXC for 2 years. And CXC decide this year they're not releasing the results until they get the money. The parents and students have paid up. They keep telling we the folks in the federation, go and educate yourself. Get the highest education you can. People go out there, people sacrifice. People spend all kind of money. People do the SBAs. People do the CXC. Many children have gone off to Bryan College and don't know the result. Parents are crying bitterly, harshly. Where is the result? Mr. Liburd, could recall any time in our history that our results are so late and did not come forward? I'm asking you a question. Could you recall?
That's me? I thought it was a rhetorical question.
That's a question to you. Could you recall
in
your history?
I can't.
That our TXC result and SBA's result.
I said I can. Go ahead.
Good. Okay. Now, the word on the street is that this Labour government has not paid CXC for 2 years. That's the alleged information on the street. And the alleged information is that CXC decide that they are not releasing any results until they are paid. The other thing,
I will investigate that, but go ahead, proceed, sir.
Yes, investigate that, please. That is some homework for you.
Yes, but go ahead.
The other issue is, when is the government going to come and tell the nation of the alleged report? We are asking the question, is it true that Mr. Mikey Martin has resigned or has been fired by the Prime Minister from the CVI? We want to know that. That's a question we are asking because over 2 weeks and more now, we are hearing that Mr. Mikey Martin resigned or was fired by Dr. Joe. Have you any information on that?
Well, if you were following Straight Talk, we provided some.
No, I was not following because, like I say, I am so busy trying to get this business going and trying to help the farmers, trying to help the fishers, the provision and vegetable people, and trying to help the wholesale.
Okay, let me finish. I was gonna say that some programs ago we played a report from DBS Television in St. Lucia that spoke to that very issue, and no one has denied it to date.
Well, I have been asking it on the talk shows and nobody could answer me.
Well, it's been reported in, as I said, from DBS Television that said this.
We just had the resignation. We don't know why, but the resignation of the recently installed chief executive officer of the CIU up in St. Kitts, Nevis. Sources are indicating that it may have to do with some evidence within the MSR case that is unfolding, again for the underselling of the citizenships.
So we did in fact play that report, and we have not.
Yes. we are saying to him, just like how we say in Parliament, Mr. Wilkin, nobody out here is afraid of you either.
Okay, but thanks a lot for your
Right. One last thing.
Please.
One last thing before we go. What he should have been telling the nation that he has asked his friend and colleague, my representative, Miss Marsha Henderson, to go into the police and to make a report and let the police do an investigation concerning all these alleged reports that he surrounded his colleague that he say he is defending.
Okay.
That is what we were looking to hear from Mr. Wilkin.
Okay.
That his friend and colleague went in and she was questioned by the police, and the police have questioned her, and she is a suspect in all these allegations that is surrounding her. That is what he was supposed to tell the public. Not coming and checking the public, but the police must do their work and they must come and take with people's phone. Where you buy a phone for?
Okay, my brother, thanks a lot. Thanks for your intervention. We go back to the lines. Caller. Hello, caller, you're live.
Patches, good night. How are you?
I am peaceful, Jamdong. And yourself?
I'm fine, Patches. Just listening to you, man. I'm fine. I know you always prepare for them, because we don't back down. Patches, I want to let all the PLP fans know that Iowa, milk, we're going to lay into rest on Wednesday, and we want all the supporters then to attend, and then we put in them good. We are asking everybody who that young man lobby and was sharing this country, poor people in our town could rise to the occasion just like you in your tongue, Patches, and achieve one the highest office. And we know how the path go, but time tell it. Teeth and tongue will tell.
Okay.
Patches, if I want to say here that poor people got life harder than a rock, are guilty, we guilty. If you fool me last election, it can't happen again. For if you fool me once or twice, it can't happen again. Who's on that? The fellow up George Street. Patches,
Yes, my brother.
I want to tell me to tell you, right, that continue to come, because if you keep it together, otherwise you see a leader don't go on to the great beyond. You keep these people together. They're listening you, They're listening you. Patches, I myself recognize the work you have done for 7 years to this country. And we ain't seeing that there from people who said they could do better. And what's saying to the real. When they go up George Street, Patches, and you remember I tell my career about it. Over when we were celebrating your birthday over by the Newton football field, I told you, Patches, the next move from the houses them in Wellington is to fix them thinking drain in George Street. And look where the vagabond people them in Newton go do. Let this man fool them and know about when they call he and say fool. They're not interested in the family in America. They're not interested in all this game they're playing. Anyway, Patches, you take care. See you when I see you. Keep the good works going.
Thank you, my brother. Thanks for your intervention. Always very passionate about your views. And this email reads, Dear Patches, the situation at Keon High School is a disgrace, and Dr. Drew's administration has no excuse. After 7 months of forced closure due to mold, school reopened in dangerous and unfinished conditions. How could Dr. Drew allow this, especially in his own constituency? It's clear this government had plenty of time but failed to prioritize the health and safety of both students and teachers. The teachers have been forced to stage a sit-out, demanding answers from a government that remains silent. Where is Dr. Duke? Where is Jeffrey Hanley? Why haven't they faced the people and explained why they've failed so miserably? And more importantly, why is Big Lice, who never hesitates to defend Dr. Duke, suddenly gagged on his issue when it concerns his very own care community? We need leadership, not photo ops. Dr. Joe must be held accountable for putting our children and teachers at risk. Caller, thank you for holding your live.
Good night, Mr. Liburd.
Good night, my brother.
How about thou?
I am peaceful.
I am blessed. Sir. Yes, sir, I am blessed, sir. I want to say good night to everyone, especially Dr. Culture, Dr. Manners, and all the others who normally listen to our program. Mr. Liburd, this is one of the worst independence I ever see in life because of the disgrace and the behavior of some of the people and called themselves ministers. When I have to look at some of the kids them for the independence treat, it is a shame. How could you tell me you're giving children them white rice and beef? White rice and beef for independence, and you're having other people getting other things. And still have the heart to go and close down Addis place up at Greenlands and putting the children them all about the place, and then you do not know what to do with them. Send them back up at Greenlands, up at Addis place, for where they are doing some work for the to smell the paint that what they said the painting. Could anybody tell me that can you put your child to smell paint when there are work still going on at the Addis place? What happened to the Prime Minister and Dr. Hanley? They have love for the kids them up at Addis place? Someone need to go up there and tell them they cannot have any children them in this kind of building. Try and get them somewhere so that the parents them could feel happy. So please stop giving the children them white rice and beef and give them something nutritious. Have a pleasant night, sir.
Have a pleasant night as well, my dear brother. I trust you have been keeping an ear out, Patches, on an ear on the ground, or an ear to the ground, beg your pardon, especially with the recent developments in the National Assembly. Have you heard the shocking speech from Attorney General Garth Wilkin, where he openly defended his colleague, Minister Marsha Henderson, against serious criminal allegations? In his attempt to shield her, he admitted quite disturbingly and even boasted that he was Lucifer. He said, "They call me Lucifer." Now let that sink in for a moment. The top legal officer of the land, the one entrusted with upholding justice and integrity, proudly associates himself with the embodiment of deception. What does it say about the values guiding our leaders, and how should we the people feel about those meant to represent us when they proudly embrace such imagery? It raises the critical question, is this the leadership we deserve? I look forward to your thoughts on this. Read this email. Good night, Mr. Liburd. Someone asked me to reach out to you. It's about their relative in the government home in Sadlers. Her husband wasn't feeling well. He have some ailments. Me, myself, isn't too good. So it's difficult for me to care for him. So I went to the office, beg your pardon. They took him at the government home in Sadlers. A certain worker complaining to the office decided to send my husband home, telling me they need space for other people. The man is still sick. This isn't right at all. One of the workers and the office superiors are friends. So whatever certain workers tell them, they act. You don't know who sent this email. Thank you for your program. Read this email. This man is always misspeaking, and it is direct proof of ineptitude, lack of experience, and incompetence to lead the Federation. He's making too many mistakes in his governance. What rubbish is he talking that hundreds of thousands of citizens living in the Federation will benefit from the LIFT program when the population is a meager 51,000? Reads this email. Good night, Patches. What's the story behind the 6 grays? Allegedly about the government not paying for results of the past 2 years. Is it true? That's certainly not a good look to our little country. Parents and students are waiting their grades. Shameful, shameful. The government have no care about nothing of the country. But once their pockets are full, that's it. Is that other email? And this, I'll take my final email for the night. Good night, Patches. I guess that Garth poop does not come through his mouth. I could only imagine how stink his mouth is because all he talks is that thing that comes out of the butt. Garth mouth was a poor black woman with a white man who never wanted her and got Garth. Wow. Let Garth know that his skin color don't make him better than the rest of us. Let Garth know that in St. Kitts and Nevis, every single day we will be online. We will forward the WhatsApp news that we hear about this corrupt government. Garth needs to resign. We don't want to hear him. He needs to get out of the house. Let him go talk to his nanny and don't try that bull with the people of the Federation. That's a nanny TikTok hater. And my Straight Talk family, as we wind down tonight's programming, I'll perhaps take this and make this my final call for the night. Caller, I'm going to only give you 30 seconds. Can you use it?
That's all I want, Patrice. Carl Brown here again. I am giving you some homework and I'm asking the question to the governing authority. Why isn't we have heard of the death of a young man from McKnight that got killed in St. Martin last week, Wednesday? Why isn't there no news, no bulletin, nothing on the death of that young man who got killed in St. Martin last week, Wednesday? Gone, Patrice. Good night.
Thank you very much. And perhaps that's the way we're going to end our calls tonight and wrap our program, my Straight Talk family. And we looked at our thesis tonight, which we titled TikTok, the potter called the kettle black. And my Straight Talk family, we examined the double standards of Lucifer. And for those who seem not to understand, Garth Lucifer Wilkin has himself confirmed that they call him Lucifer. Here's what he said.
They call me Lucifer. I ain't afraid of nobody, you know. I ain't afraid of nobody. But they want to demonize people for the sake of politics. Nasty people. And this house, which is a house where people are elected to serve, and those people choose other people to serve with them, is the place to tell our people when certain things are not acceptable in a society.
And my Straight Talk family, when you look at the performance and the actions of Lucifer, it tells you that it is okay for him to use his smartphone and spread propaganda, because that's what he did. It's evidence in the RICO case. That's information that resided in a government department leak to a former minister and advisor, Gada, who was filed, advisor to the French convict, I should say, who was filed a RICO case in the USA. And hear his allegations. They probably paid Tim PLP 10 to 15 of that $1 million. It's okay for him to spread the propaganda and rumor. My Straight Talk family. And his message or messages are part of the evidence. If the leak was part of a scheme, my Straight Talk family, to influence or manipulate political outcomes, then Lucifer ought to be charged by the DPP with conspiracy. But my Straight Talk family, the real crux of this matter that we are raised tonight, and caller, I just said I was rapping. I'm going to give you 30 seconds and no more, really. I'm rapping now.
Yeah, okay. Let me take that 30 seconds that 30 seconds real quickly. Yeah, I heard about that gentleman from Sinkis was killed out there in St. Martin. We need some information on that.
Okay.
And it appears that Dr. Drew, the Prime Minister, cannot control the members in his cabinet. And the AG is talking in front and over the Prime Minister, and he is not an elected official. He's appointed. So Dr. Drew is showing signs of weakness.
Okay.
And he needs to straighten up his act. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much for your understanding. And I was saying the real crux of the matter, my Straight Talk family, that seemed to have caused the outrageous behavior of Lucifer in the National Assembly on Wednesday, has not been addressed by him properly and or otherwise, because it all stemmed from a young man who criticized a member of the July cabinet and was shot not long after.
Hey, okay, watch you. Oh, she pull up and maybe she's son in there and she telling me some folks. You got your son there with you, come try to style me, come pull up on me. Okay, she tell me come to a meeting. Go into a meeting with me. You check? Tell the woman I want back my job I want that the woman can't put me back on the piece up to now. The woman can't do nothing for me. Them then enough man supposed to could talk to the people who we put in a power. Them they gonna call up in the embassy and call up in the airport, them and all kind of tap them if I'm making the money, the woman.
My Straight Talk family, I mark. May his soul rest in peace. But many are still asking the question, is there anyone in the July cabinet with red hands? That Lucifer Wilkins stood up in the parliament in a rage, and according to him, it was personal. He said, it was personal, and he supports his sister and member from number 2. He said this, my Straight Talk family.
Personal, because it's part of my family that was attacked. And the police have already gotten the advice and the ammunition from the DPP's office, the Attorney General's office, and we will come and get your phones. So stop it now. This is the last warning. I support my sister, the member for number 2. May it please you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Attorney General.
But if, according to Lucifer, the member from number 2 is accused of doing something wrong, then it's only proper for the member to use the parliament, not you, Lucifer. The member from number 2 ought to use the parliament to inform the nation and or clear her name. And the paper provides that opportunity. It does. I told you so earlier tonight. Under item 13, any member of the parliament have an opportunity, as it reads, for personal explanations. So Lucifer, you overestimated your ability and your importance without qualifications. And you demonstrated that you are not a good lawyer, as unelected and unelectable as you are. You must know you cannot speak for a member. Even if you were in a court of law, the accused must speak for herself and not choose, no doubt, to remain silent. Not so in Parliament, Lucifer. Parliament don't call witnesses. So this dismissive or condescending behavior towards the people in this country is not acceptable. And Lucifer, God, Lucifer Wilkin, you are not there to protect your friend or your sister, as you've said. Your role as the Attorney General, Minister of Justice and Legal Affairs is to protect the public interests. This man lacks humility. He lacks self-awareness. And he believes he deserves respect or recognition because he was appointed Attorney General. But respect and recognition must be earned through hard work or merit. So there's no need to threaten anyone, Lucifer. No need to threaten anyone about the judge and police.
The police are going to come for you. Not me. The police are going to come for you. They're going to use the force of the law. And you're going to meet the judge.
So I ask the question as we wrap tonight's programming. Why is the member from number 2 so quiet and Lucifer is so angry? Why?
I'm defending my friend and colleague. It upset me. A woman with a child. And people following foolishness. And people know it's stupidness. But they're forwarding it still. They're broadcasting it. They're using it and making other videos on it. Knowing that it's not true. And all of it, we should just put up with it because people say we have freedom of speech. No. I ain't going to tell you about the Constitution. I'm the Attorney General of this country.
What is not true, though, is a question we must ask ourselves. But Lucifer's appointment as Attorney General does not inherently confer upon him sole authority over constitutional interpretation. While the Attorney General holds a significant position in advising the government on legal matters and representing it in judicial proceedings, constitutional interpretation is a collaborative endeavor. Various entities, including the judiciary, legislative bodies, and academic scholars, contribute to the evolving understanding of constitutional law, Lucifer. Furthermore, the Constitution itself is a living document, subject to different interpretations, emphasizing the importance of checks and balances within the legal framework. We cannot wait on this Attorney General to interpret the Constitution for us. We must ensure there is a robust and democratic discourse surrounding the legal interpretations and the implications as advanced by this zealous Attorney General. In the meanwhile, I commend all of you. I am proud of the pushback that everyone is giving to Massa grandson, Lucifer. Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw must be proud of us as he warned us against placing power in the hands of these kind of people. So I am proud of you, my people. Whether you're a farmer, a sanitation worker, painter, a hotel worker, wherever you are employed. Yes, the food prices are high and giving up or going up as we speak. Water, electricity are rationed. But let us defend, my Straight Talk family. Let us defend our democracy. Let us die with our dignity. And when Garth Lucifer Wilkin comes up with his veiled threats, let us stand together and let Lucifer know that he's nothing but a what?
But AG is a punk. That's the main reason you see me do this video, yeah. Just to let you know directly, he is a punk. You hear? He is a punk with a capital P. AG. You hear?
A punk with a capital P. TikTok, the pot I call the kettle black. That's my story tonight, my Straight Talk family, and I am not going to change it. I want to thank Almighty God for guiding our conversation tonight, as always. I want to thank you, the many listeners on the platforms, YouTube and Facebook, and as well as Alexa. And my Straight Talk family, all of you who call, those who send emails, and those of you who listen, remember, you are the ones who make Straight Talk. And for that reason, I say a big, big thank you. Where have all these emails come from? Good night, Patches. How come Garth did not stand up in Parliament and defend Congress Maynard from big lies? Why is he defending Marshall? Can Marshall, cat got Marshall tongue? She just have to let us know how deep and involved she is with the McKnight man. Why Marshall can't deny having a meeting with IMAC? I hope that she's tormented every day and night until she comes clean. This wicked government can do anything about the crime because members in Parliament are in intimate relationships with the gangsters. It's not true. Let them distance themselves by coming clean. Until then, we will believe what we see and hear in the media. The country is in a mess. Let's get rid of them. They are out of whack. Patches, I want to congratulate the general public in particular. Everton Powell, Shante, Anderson, Glasgow, Chocolate, going on and many tick-timers who trampled down the AG. He is so corrupt and out of order, and he and Dwight Asafan think they are white. That's why they think they can talk to us black people like that. The AG is not only pompous, he's sick. He is hell. He the hell he think he is, or who the hell that should be, I believe, who think it is. We will never accept the AG going into the house with these dictatorship utterances. Garth Wilkin, please step down and we won't accept your apology. Patches, Garth Wilkin needs to go sit down. He talking like his poo-poo comes on a plane. Good night, Patches. I'm very disturbed by the hypocrisy of Garth Wilkin. He's by far the worst AG we have had in the history of our nation. Imagine Garth threatening people about social media posts. Look how they awarded those who have maligned people's name and smeared their character by placing them on ZIZ board, especially those two fellas who cannot read properly. Garth has shown that he will kiss anybody's behind in government to keep his big salary. Garth has no moral authority to talk about social media posts. Listen to this AG talking about he's not afraid of anyone. I don't believe his intention was any genuine concern for Marshall, but just to grease his rear. I also have a word for Ron Daniel in Nevis. His post was so disgusting about supporting Garth. I have never heard him speak to all the nastiness these people have posted about others. Has he ever seen or asked his premier about his association with the fake profiles? Daniel, you cannot speak to all issues, then shut up. Let me encourage TikTokers and social media post makers. Continue to highlight their dirtiness. This is not Cuba or Russia. Let the theme be posted. Is this other email? Good night, Patches. The AG broke the law by not paying Social Security for his worker. So for him to come and tell me that he got the right to confiscate my phone or pass a law to do so, we won't accept that. Everyone likes Mrs. Wigley's service. She did a really good job in the home management with everything. Best management reads this email. I think that's about the Sadler's home. Blessed love, Mr. Straight Talk. Mr. Straight Talk, you hear it? You feel it? Well, not an earthquake, but you hear everywhere you go, everyone talks about the AG with his ridiculous speech. Got whole place a shake with his nonsense statement. Secondly, you feel it. The place so light, we can't even spend as you want because things tight and everything gone high, sky high. Mr. AJ ain't even know. He rise up the big ant's nest with his statement, and honestly, Mr. Garth Wilkin, aka Lucifer, has to go. We in our ain't want no apology. We want you gone. No apology. And lastly, Mr. Straight Talk, from today, it's official. We are going to call him Mr. Lucifer because he say it on the media. Reads this other email. Night Patches, I have a question I need to answer as I would be listening to hear my email read. When a decision is made in the court to settle a matter and the defense has been given a time period to settle, to which they fail to honor not once but twice, what is the penalty for that? Or better yet, can they just neglect the court's ruling and dishonor the time period the court gave to settle this matter? I want to know, please. Thank you. I'll be listening to your answer. Well, the court gives an order, then it does not carry out its contempt in court. Good night, Patches. Tell Garth that he needs to capture some of the murderers roaming our streets instead of passing a law to confiscate people's phone. This is not North Korea, sir. You broke the law by not paying Social Security for your nanny, and you come telling us nonsense. And make this my final email. Hi, Ian. Greetings. I am totally ashamed of Garth Wilkin and his common attitude. I have never heard or seen anyone behave like Garth Wilkin on television in all my life. It seems as though Garth Wilkin thinks that the name Lucifer is really why he wants people to be afraid of him. I am surprised that Garth referred to whomever he was referring to as his sister. If Garth was not part of the cabinet, he would not have referred to the person as his sister because he thinks that he was better than the ordinary people. It shocked me, and I'm totally ashamed. Ashamed citizen with this email. And that's the way we're going to end it. I just got that slew of emailers just seemed to have come in, so I had to really read them. And I want to thank the emailers. I want to thank the callers. I want to thank the listeners. And again, to remind you that you are the ones who make Straight Talk. And for that reason, I say a big, big thank you. I am Ian Pachaliban, and God's Spear. We will connect on Thursday for another edition of Straight Talk. Until that time, be good to yourselves and to all whom you meet. And remember that whatever your mind conceive, that you will achieve. But first of all, you got to believe. So when you wake in the morning, thank God for the morning light. And by special request, my Straight Talk family, I'm going to leave you with this as well. By special request, this I will leave with you.
But AG is a punk. That's the main reason you see me do this video, yeah. Just to let you know directly, he is a punk. You hear? He is a punk with a capital P. AG. You hear?
So yes, my Straight Talk family, whatever your mind conceive, that you will achieve. But first of all, you got to believe. So when you wake in the morning, thank God for the morning light. Thank Him for taking you tonight. And my Straight Talk family, keep moving on. A punk with a capital P. They call him Lucifer. Bye-bye, my Straight Talk family. Keep moving on.
In the morning, I thank God for the morning light. Give Him thanks and praises for taking me safely through the night. For the rest of food and loving care, and for my mother's breath of life that's got me here. So whatever my mind conceives, that I will achieve, you better believe. Because I do the things I should, be to my brethren kind and good, the best I could. So I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow. Down on my knees, the Lord I kneel and pray, with my heart and soul, beg Him to take me through each day. my guardian to keep, and my guide over every step I take. He will preside. So whatever my mind conceive that I will achieve, you better believe, because I do the things I should, be to my brethren kind and good, the best I could. So I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow. My way with strength and courage from above. No man I'll fear, since God protects me with his love. Strong, pure and true, and so sincere, 'cause my knees I'll always stay to the Lord in prayer. So whatever my mind conceive that I will achieve, you better believe, because I do the things I should, be to my brethren